Namaste. This year, for the International Day of Yoga, IYA, that is the Indian Yoga Association, has started a series of teachings, lectures, workshops by selected yoga charanis and sharing their journey, sharing the knowledge to all you viewers. And this is a very inspiring platform, and I'm very, very honored and happy and feeling very elated to be one of these yoga charinis. I really commend the work of IYA on this occasion. IYA is a neutral platform which encourages all the different traditions of yoga under one banner, which is Indian Yoga Association, and encourages yoga to flourish, whichever tradition it may follow. And I think it has come a long way from the time BKS Iyengar-ji had started this. And today we have all the gurus at the helm taking this forward. Subodhji is the current person handling this whole initiative. And Ma Hansaji is leading from the front. And I think it's a great, it has a great future. And thank you all you viewers for being a part of this journey. So as you all may be knowing, the topic for this year is Yoga for Women Empowerment. Now, I have a clinic and I see a lot of patients. And one common thing which I see with all patients is basically that women, especially, they always have some issue or the other. And they kind of go and run these tests and they get themselves, they go through master health checks and they come out and say that, no, everything is fine. But the woman, the patient, feels, I'm not feeling good, I'm not sleeping well, I have lots of aches and pains, my hair is falling, my skin doesn't look good, my moods are not okay. So then what is the cause? Why, when the tests say everything is fine and the woman is not feeling fine? And the most likely and most commonest cause is hormonal imbalance. And today I'd like to talk about that. And in this regard, I'd like to share my screen with you all. So I have prepared a presentation, which I will be sharing with you so that it is easier and it's, better for me also to just take you through all this. Okay, let's have the slideshow. All right. I hope my slide is visible to you all. Now, as I mentioned, what are the symptoms which I see? It could be headaches, cramps, moodiness, acne, a lot of pain, bloated feeling. It could be anything. Now, when we talk about hormones, what do we actually mean by hormones? Hormones are just molecules which are produced by the endocrine system that send messages to various parts of the bodies, okay? Now, basically, everything and anything in your body is regulated by hormones, be it hunger, be it your BP, your sexual desire, whatever it may be, your reproduction cycles, everything is governed by the hormones. And your endocrine system is responsible for these hormones. Now, they tell us how to breathe, how to drink, how to eat, how to sleep, how to even grow, and all of these, there are hormones and hormone receptors. So hormone receptors and hormones, you can call them like they are the lock and key, okay? And even during your menstrual cycle, these hormones continuously keep changing, okay? From your menarche to your menopause, they continuously change. And there can be an imbalance, and there can be many reasons for imbalance. It could be a simple thing as a thyroid disorder. You would have heard people saying, I'm hypothyroid, or I have hyperthyroid. It could be something as simple as PCOD, which is very, very common today in young girls, okay? Or, sorry, I'll go back. Or it could be diabetes and things like that. Now, these things can create an hormonal imbalance, and an hormonal imbalance can create these things. So it is vice versa. So what happens, for example, when you're eating a meal, Okay, the pancreas is producing insulin, which helps to regulate the blood sugar. So that's where your hormone insulin comes in. Okay, now for example, let's say you're going in a car and there's suddenly, another truck comes right in front of you, and you just slam the brakes, and that is the time suddenly you feel your heart going thak thak thak. That's the time when the your hormone adrenaline is being pumped, and that's what is actually basically helping you to even quickly and slam the brakes. So that's again another one example of what hormone can make you do. Similarly, when you feel sleepy, what is happening? Melatonin, which is a hormone, is being released in your body. Now, this melatonin is being released by your pineal gland, okay, which helps you to sleep at night. So you can see that in every function, we need a hormone, okay? Now, they might be very tiny, but they are the powerhouse of work, okay? Now, in front of you here, I've just listed out some, glands and the hormones they produce. For example, hypothalamus, it regulates your blood temperature, your hunger, your mood, your thirst, your sleep, and your libido. Pituitary gland, it is called the Wizard of Oz. It actually basically controls all the glands, master gland. Parathyroid gland regulates calcium. Pancreas produces insulin. Thyroid, it regulates the heartbeat, and it also sees to it that how many calories you're using. Adrenal glands produce stress hormones. Pineal glands, as I said, melatonin. The ovaries, both the ovaries in a woman, they produce sex hormones, which helps them in the reproductive cycle. And of course, in the men, it is the testis that produces testosterone and sperm. Okay. Now let's see. Now we look at the reproductive hormones, especially in women. Now the ovaries, they produce estrogen, progesterone, and androgens, while the testicles in males produce androgens like testosterone. Now, puberty, the development of breasts, ability to become pregnant or even produce sperm, and the body hair growth, they're all influenced by these reproductive hormones in both men and women. For women, in this cycle, the cycles keep shifting, as I mentioned to you, right from menarche through the reproductive years of the woman through menopause, okay? Now, the maximum and the most dramatic shift first happens during menarche. Second time it happens during pregnancy, and third time it happens during menopause, okay? Now, pregnancy is also in the time when a new organ like the placenta is being formed, and that is secreting progesterone, okay? Now, the entire menstrual cycle is a very complex flow and ebb of the hormones, okay? And it enables you to reproduce, okay? Obviously, without hormones, reproduction is not possible. Now, let's talk about androgens, okay? The androgens are made up from cholesterol, and they're produced in the adrenal gland and the ovaries, both, okay? Women and people with cycles who have higher levels of androgens than normal can experience symptoms like hirsutism, that means excess hair growth on the face, acne, irregular or absolutely no periods, and infertility. Now, progesterone is the major hormone that promotes pregnancy. And of course, during the menstrual cycle, progesterone is low until ovulation happens, okay? And then the levels start rising. Now, during pregnancy, progesterone is the primary hormone of the first trimester. That is the first 3 months of pregnancy. That is the time it helps to develop breast tissue called mammary glands, which later come in use for lactation or breastfeeding for the baby. Now, estrogen is also associated with menstruation, but it also impacts a number of other bodily functions, okay, including the development of your brain, your bones, your vascular system, and the health of your urinary tract. Now, more than any other hormone, it's the estrogen which impacts the way we look, the composition of the body, what kind of hair you have, what kind of skin you have, how much of body fat you have. And it is this estrogen which plays a very important role in post-menopausal women as well, because estrogen starts to decline, and that is why everything, the hair becomes thin, skin becomes dry and lusterless, and then we start seeing that women put on weight, and so on and so forth. Okay. So this is what it does. So just see some of the causes of hormonal imbalance in women is stress, menopause, premature menopause, pregnancy, breastfeeding, PCOS. And these are the symptoms. As I said, hirsutism, hair on the face, acne, loss of hair from your head, pigmentation, those black marks which you see on the skin, you'll see especially here for women and men, vaginal dryness, vaginal atrophy, sex is very painful, night sweats, headaches, sleep disturbances, weight gain or weight loss, brain fog, fatigue, loss of libido, digestive issues, depression, feeling of low all the time, and digestive issues, menstrual irregularities. So these are the symptoms. I'm sure a lot of people will be having something or the other. I forgot to even mention hot flashes, yeah, and excessive heat in the body. Now, hormone balance, okay, is connected, okay, to a lot of things which we do on a daily basis. Now, what are those things? It is the food we eat, the exercise we do or we do not, the toxins we absorb from food, from the environment, from our thought processes, the weight we carry, that means excess body fat, and the stress we handle or we rather don't handle. So these are the things which hormones depend on. Now, how we handle these multiple factors gives us the overall picture of our hormonal health, okay? Especially in midlife, when, as I said, the estrogen starts dipping, okay? And so now, when adrenals basically get run down, we get run down, okay? So we need to look at how to balance these hormones. So that's what we call resetting the hormones. It's not very difficult. And today we are all going to learn how we are going to reset the hormones the natural way. I am Farzana Siraj, holistic health coach, acupuncturist, yoga therapist, and a nutrition coach. And I'm here to share with you my experience, my knowledge with you all. Thank you so much. And let's now deep dive into how we are actually going to reset the hormones. We've learned about the problem. Let's look at the solution. So we, as I say to all my clients, let's do the D. Now, what are the D? There are 3 Ds which we really need to look at. That is your diet, how you de-stress, and how you detox. So first, let's look at the diet, okay? So the diet plays a huge part where your hormones are concerned. I've already explained that to you, right? Now, what happens when the body is metabolizing your healthy fats? A hormone called pregnenolone is formed, okay? Now, this pregnenolone is a precursor to estrogen. That means before estrogen, before progesterone, before your DHEA, before your testosterone, and before your cortisol can be formed, we get what is called pregnenolone, okay? Now, how does that happen? If your food is well balanced, if it is clean, if it is not processed and natural, and if you are getting a variety of minerals and vitamins, then you are helping this hormone to develop, okay? That is where your food is concerned. We are going to go a little bit into detail in the next slides, okay? Now, de-stress. Now, your emotional health can affect your hormones very bad. That is whenever you get stressed, you release a hormone called cortisol, okay? And when this cortisol is being released too much, it just messes up with all the other hormones and it literally guzzles them up and depletes them, okay? And that's what we call as adrenal fatigue or dysfunction of the adrenal glands, okay? So this is what stress does to us. And we are going to learn how we are going to de-stress. Now, the third D is for detox. But then what toxins do to us? Toxins are substances that alter our normal metabolic activity in the body. Now, who is in charge of detoxifying the body? It's the liver, yeah? Now, what happens when there are too much of toxins, the liver is not able to handle because there's an overload of toxins, okay? And it's not able to cope up with the speed at which the toxins are coming into the body, and that at the speed which the toxins are leaving the body, it's not matching. So that's called an overload, and the liver starts getting fatigued. So then what happens? That the toxins start collecting in the body. Now, estrone is a type of estrogen that can be stored in the fat cells in the body if the liver is not metabolizing it. Now, high levels of estrone can lead to increased weight gain and sometimes even cancer. And an example could be breast cancer, it could be ovarian cancer, and so on and so forth. Okay. Now let's see what kind of diet should one have. When we talked about your diet, your D. So let's quickly go through it. Have at least 20 to 30 grams of healthy fats, such as avocado, coconut oil, olive oil, walnuts, chia seeds, garden cress seeds, and flax seeds daily. Eat at regular intervals throughout the day. That's very important. At least 25 grams of protein at every meal, including breakfast. Reduce your carbs because we are not working so hard anymore. And avoid is not the word, I would say eliminate sugar and refined carbs. Dairy, have it very judiciously. Even if you're having dairy, please don't have milk, have organic milk, cow milk, okay? And lots of greens, include lots of greens in your diet. It could be herbs, it could be leafy vegetables, example. And then drinking tea. Drink green tea or white tea or blue tea. That also 30 minutes after your breakfast, not before your breakfast, because not immediately after your breakfast, because it inhibits the absorption of good vitamins and minerals, okay? Stay away from totally sugary beverages like all kinds of aerated drinks and stuff like that. Have a high fiber diet, and most importantly, learn to understand when you have had enough. Do not overeat, and of course, do not even undereat, okay? Now let's see how we can do a de-stress. Spend time in nature. Nature is got the maximum prana it can give you, so just de-stress there. Exercise, yoga, Zumba, weight training, play a sport, cultivate a hobby. Most importantly, rest well, sleep at the same time every day, and sleep at least 8 hours. Spend time with children and old people. You always have a lot to learn from both these age groups, It's an eye-opener, trust me. Laugh often. Pranayama. Now you'll notice that I've highlighted the word pranayama here because we're going to learn more about this fourth anga. Yama, Niyama, Asana, Pranayama. The fourth anga of the Ashtanga philosophy of yoga. Yeah, coming back, keep your desires and wants in check. Don't be too ambitious. Don't always be too greedy. Don't always want more, want more, want more. Learn to be satisfied with life, and it is going to go a long way to see that you are de-stressed. And of course, be kind, be compassionate to all living beings, animals, humans, plants, trees, everyone. Now, how are we going to detox? The third D. At least start your day with 1 liter of water, and throughout the day, at least have 3 liters of water daily. Avoid refined and reprocessed foods because they give a lot of toxins to you. Don't use chemical home care and personal care products like using floor cleaners or using sprays, air purifiers, air sprays, and using roll-ons, under your arms and stuff like that. Don't use that. Don't go on having pills all the time, a painkiller, a headache pill, or any kind of pill, okay? Avoid the use of plastic. If you must, only use food-grade plastic. Try to cook in earthenware or ironware. Ironware gives a lot of iron to you while you're cooking. It's very, very essential for women. Please eat local and organic food so that when it is not local and grown very far, to transport it, they put a lot of chemicals to preserve it. So that's why please eat local and organic. Limit the use of phones and computers because there's a lot of radiation. Please ground yourself, walk barefooted on earth so that you can get enough of the earth element into your body. have sun baths to get the fire element in your body, and practice Shatkriyas. Shatkriyas are the 6 Kriyas where which you use to basically cleanse your system. We're not going to talk too much about it, but Shatkriyas are a precursor to pranayama. So please do your Shatkriyas regularly. Now, I have made for you a capsule which you must take every day. Now, you'll be wondering that, why is she now suddenly asking us to take a capsule? She herself said, no pills, but this is a yogic capsule. So what do you do in the yogic capsule? So you do follow all the 8 steps of yoga. And before that, you follow the Shatkarma or the Shatkriyas, which is Niti, Thauti, Nauli, Basti, Kapalabhati, and Tratak. And after that, you start with your yamas, niyamas, asana, pranayama, pratyahara, dharana, dhyana, and samadhi. And this, for me, is the complete yogic capsule. Okay, but today we are going to talk more about the 4th anga, and that is the pranayama. सुचले वाते चलम चित्तम निश्चले निश्चलम भवेत योगी स्थाणुत्वमाप्नोति ततो वायुम निरोधयेत. What does that mean? Wherever prana moves, your chitta moves. When prana is without movement, chitta is also without movement. Okay? So the yogi tries to attain steadiness by steadying his prana. What is the prana? The breath. Okay? And that's what this whole verse means. And today we are going to learn one basic pranayama. And before that, we learn certain preconditions to pranayama. Now let's learn some do's and don'ts of pranayama. Never do asanas immediately after pranayama. Rather do asanas before pranayama. There is no harm in practicing pranayama after asanas, but never after strenuous asanas. Okay? Mornings are reserved for pranayama. That is ideal is the Brahma Muhurtam, and evenings for asanas. That is the ideal recommendation. Do not practice your pranayama when your mind is either too dull or depressed, okay? Because then it's not going to help you, okay? But if your mind is dull and depressed, instead of pranayama, I strongly suggest you to do asanas. That will relax your mind, okay? And stay for longer duration in the asana. Hold the poses, and that becomes a form of dhara. Okay. Now, bad and poorly performed postures lead to very shallow breathing. Okay. And then your endurance is very low. You're not able to continue your pranayama. That is why we first temper the body by asanas, make it strong enough, and then only we do pranayama. And that is the simple reason why asana is mentioned before pranayama, right? Before you actually embark on this journey of pranayama, you must see to it that you strengthen your intercostal muscles, because those are the muscles which are responsible for breathing. Okay, please strengthen them by certain exercises. You must also strengthen your pelvis and your thoracic diaphragm by practicing the relevant asana. We are not going to into asanas today, so I'm not talking about that, but I'm sure you can find out resources where you know how to strengthen your pelvis and your thoracic region. Before pranayama, please empty your bladder and empty your bowels, okay? You cannot do pranayama on full bladder and full bowels. Constipated people can definitely practice pranayama, as the bowels cannot be damaged in any way as the bladder can be. So please remember that. Okay, now some more. Do not perform any kumbhaka, any form of kumbhaka when your brain is sensitized, okay, because it may suffer from injury or sudden disturbances. Do not do this even before you go to sleep, because it will keep you awake. Kumbhaka will keep you awake, okay, especially the antara kumbhaka, internal retention, okay. When you want to sleep well, you just practice pranayama without kumbhaka, okay. Now, if you are not at least 18 years of age, please do not practice kumbhaka, that is retention of the breath, because you will start looking old prematurely. Do not perform pranayama when you are in a hurry, like, oh, let me do this 2 things. Don't do that. 2-minute pranayama. Don't do that, please. And don't do it when you're having a cold, when your lungs are congested, okay? And do not immediately talk or walk after pranayama. Lie down in shavasana at least for 10 minutes, relax, and then get your bearings, and then you may come out of pranayama. At least an interval of 4 to 6 hours is necessary before a full meal. Okay, if you've eaten a very light meal, then 3 hours is fine. But and after the practice of pranayama, please give yourself at least 30 minutes before you can eat anything. While you are doing pranayama, and if you feel a tightness in your chest or a heaviness in your lungs, or when you feel that now my breathing is becoming very harsh or very rough and it's difficult to breathe, please stop pranayama. Do not force yourself, okay? Pranayama itself means extension of breath in a very rhythmic way. No force, okay? Okay, now remember, faulty practices tenses the muscles, okay? And it invites disease, okay? Whenever you are in a pranayama, keep your breathing pattern very smooth. Feel that your nerves are being soothed and not getting agitated. Don't do pranayama just because you have to do pranayama. Understand your body. If you're not up to it today, it's okay, leave it. But don't do a faulty practice, okay? Pranayama should not become a blind routine. The body is tamasic, the mind rajasic, and the self is sattvic during pranayama. That means the body is not moving, the mind is alert, and your soul and your inner thing feels very sattvic. Develop both intelligence to the level of the mind through asanas. Then raise both body and mind to the level of the self through pranayama for the prana to move throughout the body. As I mentioned, pranayama is tamasic when the trunk and spine are dull. So keep your trunk and spine alive and active and rajasic, okay? Only when the torso is firm, the brain receptive, and the self attentive is pranayama sattvic. Practice and surrender are the two wings of pranayama, abhyasa and vairagya. Practice and surrender of desire, abhyasa and vairagya, the two wings of pranayama, which take the sadhaka to higher spheres of knowledge and to the realization of the self. Now, when a lot of heat is generated in the body due to practicing asanas and pranayama, stop for a day. Apply oil to the body, your head, your heels, the soles of your feet, and rub that oil in, probably coconut oil. And after a while, take a hot bath and do shavasana for about 15 minutes. Then the body will be cool and fit for practice the following day, not the same day. So these are certain tips you must remember about pranayama. How should the posture be? Pranayama is best practiced while sitting on the floor on a folded blanket. Postures are Siddhasana, Swastikasana, Bhadrasana, Vajrasana, Baddhakonasana, and or Padmasana. Any of these asanas you can do. You have to remember to keep your spine erect, okay, and perpendicular to the floor. Choose a place which is clean, secluded, airy, free from insects, and practice during quiet hours. Noise can create a lot of restlessness, disturbance, and anger. Please don't do pranayama at those times. Best time, as I mentioned before, is Brahma Muhurtam. If you can, early morning, please do. Or you can even practice after sunset if you haven't found time. Choose the same place every day, since the energies of that place will keep on increasing with your regular practice. During pranayama, the spine is like a flute. Adjust the spine from the base, vertebra by vertebra, as if you were building a brick wall. Keep the right and left sides of the spinal column parallel by moving them independently and rhythmically in line with the central spine. In pranayama, the front of the spine is more dynamic than the back. Saliva flows at the beginning of pranayama. Swallow it only after breathing out, but before breathing in, and never while holding the breath. Please remember this. Do not stiffen or press the tongue against the teeth and palate, but keep it in the throat and passive. Close your eyes gently and look within into your heart. and do not harden the eyeballs of your eyes. This is a very important inner observation and will come only when you practice more. Keep the inner ears alert but passive. They're the windows of the mind. Tune them to the vibration of inhalation and exhalation. And whenever you are doing retention, that is a sound that's safe. But we're today not going to talk about retention. Keep your skin of your trunk active and dynamic. And the face, your skull, arms, all that skin is soft. Keep the brain receptive and observant, most important. And use it to induce the lungs to act without becoming involved in the action. For if it does, it cannot at the same time watch the process of breathing. That means the brain just gives a command, but don't let it get too involved so that you forget to observe how you're breathing. So that is what it is meant by this. Okay. Now, today, what we are going to do is a quick practice, which you all will do with me. Now, this is the Anulom Vilom Pranayama. Now, in Anulom Vilom Pranayama, we are not doing any retention, no kumbhaka, okay? It's just breathing in and breathing out. So we will go step by step, but I will tell you first how you are going to do the mudras. The left hand mudra is going to be in this form, the Jnana mudra, as it's illustrated on this slide. The right hand mudra is something called Prana mudra or the Vishnu mudra. This is how it is. I'm so sorry. This is how it is. My bad. This is how it is. Okay, Vishnu mudra. So this is your left hand and this is your right hand. Okay. Now, when we are closing this right hand is only used for closing and opening the nostrils. That's all its job is. And the left hand is to be kept on your left knee as shown in the illustration below. Okay. Now, this thumb is used to close the left nostril and the ring finger is used to close the thumb is used to close the right nostril and the ring finger is used to close the left nostril. That's the job. So when you do this, I'll just show you how it is. It's going to be like this, like this, like this, like this in a very rhythmic way. Okay. Now we start with the left nostril. Okay. So first of all, we sit in a meditative posture. So please sit whatever you're comfortable, be it Padmasana, be it any other asanas which I mentioned, Swastikasana, or, even you can sit in Vajrasana, whatever works for you. Just sit like that. Keep your left hand as illustrated here on your left knee, right hand. Let's take the Prana Mudra or the Vishnu Mudra. We close the right nostril gently. Don't press it so hard that you twist all your nostrils like this, Very gently at the tip, there is a bone here. Very gently with the tip of your thumb, close that entry point of the air and keep the other two fingers stretched out, relaxed. And now you're going to begin your pranayama with an exhalation from the left nostril. So exhale to the count of 5. Close the left nostril. Open the right nostril. Inhale to a count of 5. Close the right. Exhale from left to a count of 5. Again, inhale from the left to a count of 5. Exhale from the right to a count of 5. Inhale from the right to a count of 5. Exhale from the left to a count of 5. Okay, this way. Are we all ready to start? Can we do it? This was just a demo. Come on, let's all start. Left hand in Chin Mudra or Gyan Mudra on your left knee. Right hand is in Vishnu Mudra or Pranav Mudra, this way. Close the right nostril gently with your right thumb. Exhale from the left nostril with a count of 5. Now again, inhale from the left to a count of 5. Close the left. Open the right. Exhale to a count of 5 from the right. Inhale to a count of 5. Close the right. Exhale from left. Count of 5. Inhale from left again to a count of 5. Exhale from right to a count of 5. Now this you can at least do 12 rounds in the beginning. No retention. I made you do equal number of counts for inhalation and exhalation in the beginning, just for practice. As you feel confident, please make the exhalation double. So inhale for a count of 5, exhale for a count of 10. No retention, okay? And this is how you will do. If you do inhale left, exhale right, inhale right, exhale left. Now this is one round. So I'm asking you to do 12 rounds in the beginning. Take pranayama slow, step by step. Please do not hurry with pranayama. It is the journey which is important, and there is no destination in this journey. So everything you do, please do it slowly, and you will start seeing a slow and a steady change. A makeover will happen, and before you realize, all your feeling, those symptoms of hormonal imbalance will all vanish into thin air, and you will be a happy, contented person. I hope today's presentation has answered many of your queries regarding hormonal imbalance. And of course, pranayama is a very deep subject. I've just started it with you. Please speak to your own teachers, gurus, whoever you are following, and learn more about it. But remember, less is more where pranayama is concerned. Do not hurry, do it slowly. Thank you very much. I've had a lovely time in today's session, and I really hope that you all also enjoyed. My biggest thanks to Ivaya again for helping me and for providing this platform to come and speak to all of you. Namaste.